July 21st, 2014.
Welcome to Treknicity, a Star Trek podcast. Can you believe that we're actually back after season 7? We thought we were done with this, or at least I thought I was done with it. But unfortunately, it's anyways, welcome to season 8, episode 1. I am your host, Lars DeSenza. With me is Patrick Murray, and joining us is our new co-host for Treknicity, Mike Raper, who we have had the privilege of getting to know through his Star Trek Adventures game that we've been playing for several months now. So, this is the team, at least for Season 8, or until we scare one of or more of you guys away. But alas, we're here. So, welcome, guys. Thank you for joining me here today. I'm actually pretty excited. I'm a little nervous because, quite frankly, I wasn't even sure that I was ever going to do this podcast again. But the fun we've been having with our game and everything kind of convinced me that it was worth doing this again.
Yep, it was about time we got back on the podcast anyway. We've been kind of away, relying on the video stream. But getting into Star Trek Adventures kind of got us hey, we're feeling in the mood for some Star Trek stuff. So, podcast time it is. Mike?
No, thanks for having me. I am new to podcasting. I listen to podcasts all the time or watch them when I go walk or run, but never actually done one. So all of you out there thinking you're getting a really cool professional host, think again. You're not. You're getting what you see.
They've listened to us, though, so they already know what they're getting.
If they're still listening, I think we're in good shape.
Yeah,
wow, that viewer count just went down.
Yeah, wow. I didn't realize viewer counts could go in the negative.
Well, we're thinking about we'll just change the name of the podcast to 3 Nerdy Old Men.
That's half the podcasts out there.
You're not
Sorry,
wrong.
I had to write something down. Completely unrelated. So what we're going to be doing, I'm going to take a little bit of a different tack on this show. Before, I tried to make something a little bit different because, quite frankly, I am different, and we've always been different. But I'm a big fan of other podcasts out there like Twin City Trekkies. Of course, one of my favorites being Starship Tempest. The Duras Sisters podcast has always been fun. Just to name a few of several. And what I'm hoping to capture this time, instead of it being rather so clean and polished and clinical, I want to tap into that energy, that vibe. Patrick and I have had, chemistry for many, many years, and through different paths life has taken us, and I've tried to do different things. I think I strayed a little bit too far from tapping in and using that energy, that vibe, that chemistry. And given the fact that Mike has been just absolutely wonderful in kind of keeping us engaged in what we're doing in his game, I thought that he was going to be a perfect addition to help us round out the cast for this show. Even to the point, look, I'm so excited about this. I actually got us shirts made. You can see I'm wearing mine. You can see that Mike is wearing his. And Patrick, of course, being the outlier, has his hanging on a
decided not to wear it the first episode.
Absolutely.
Well, to be fair, you got me an extra large, big and tall. I could use it as a frickin' dress.
It's funny.
So wear a dress.
Yeah, it's like
it's okay.
Had I realized the mistake, I think I would have gone and actually had it done in like the TNG skirt.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Yeah, it's It's 2024. You can wear a dress and it's perfectly cool.
Yeah. It's like, oh my goodness. Okay. That's like,
So let me pan my camera down.
no, please don't.
Uh,
No, people don't need to see that Final Frontier. The thing is that again, the whole vibe of this show is to be entertaining, to hopefully just give you our hot takes on several Star Trek related topics, and maybe break a few laughs out. I'm really looking forward to being able to share this with everybody and have some fun along the way. So just kind of bring everybody to the same page as how we're going to approach this, and then once we do that, we'll kind of give you a little bit of background on who we are, in case you haven't watched any of our shows before. The idea is that we're going to take a topic and we're going to break it effectively into what I like to call the good, the bad, and the ugly. And it's just as it sounds. We're going to talk about what each of us think is a good aspect of that topic, something bad that we may particularly don't like, and of course something that is ugly, because as much as we love Star Trek, there are unfortunately some very ugly examples.
Code of honor.
Yeah, which always seems to come to mind for pretty much any Trekkie
Discovery
who has been around since the 80s, since TNG. And I think that's going to give us an opportunity to really give our audience three very different perspectives, but at the same time, a very colorful one, so that we can just share our thoughts with you, and hopefully you like to come along for a ride. Of course, if you have any comments, if you have anything to say, you want to share with us, be sure to reach out to us. As you can see above my head, okay, you can see it's wonderful. You see that there's some socials there. Red Shirt Geeks is pretty much our parent channel, where most of our content is being hosted. This episode from Season 8 will feature on the new Treknicity.com website, which is it's just a redirector to the Treknicity YouTube channel. And that will have a set of playlists that includes the first 7 seasons. And I'll just apologize in advance because some of them were pretty good. And then there was Season 3, Episode 1. That was effectively my code of honor. We'll talk about that another time. But, so visit our socials and give us a like and a follow and a subscribe to our YouTube channels. And we would greatly appreciate it. Let us know when we hit the mark and when we don't. And, we take feedback very seriously. That being said, I'm going to go ahead and open everything up to my co-host here. And we're going to start with Patrick. Kind of give us give us a little bit of a rundown of yourself. Your fandom, or basically go ahead, just talk.
Yeah. That is going to be a hard one to define here, because I don't have just one fandom that I kind of get into, and then it ebbs and flows depending. I mean, when in Trek, I was there until the movie that doesn't exist after the first Abrams movie, and then I was back for the third one, which is only the second one because I don't count that other one, and we won't even speak its name here.
The movie that shall not be named.
Yeah, and then there was forcing my way through Discovery Season 1, which was, there was some good stuff there, but unfortunately it was also Discovery Season 1. But yeah, I could tell you I've got fandoms, so you're going to probably hear references to, you're probably going to hear a lot of Star Wars stuff from me because I was a big Star Wars fan until their last movie. We don't even need to mention that one's name anymore because, that's, to be fair though, I think that's because the media landscape is running too many franchises into the ground. Although hopefully hopefully Lower Decks will stick the landing this time, and that will be a great series finale rather than Discovery season finale, which was Michael Burnham's Savior of the Galaxy Part 4.
Yeah.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Also, Walter Koenig was better in Babylon 5 in a few appearances than he was in all of Chekhov. That's all I got to say.
Wow, that's some fighting words.
Oh, Al Bester was an awesome character that you love to hate. I mean, he was Kai Wynn levels of hate.
Wow. That's,
Yeah.
I haven't watched all
He was
of 5, so I may have to go back and just watch it just so I can see this.
Yeah. I'm going to have, I think we'll have to talk about that later, but I'm going to, once I finish watching through DS9, which I'm in season 7, so I'm in a good spot there. I think I just got through Ferengi episode number how many? I can't even remember. It's the one where they go to the mirror universe to save the Nagus. But after, I think I might watch something after that, but I don't remember it as much. But yeah, we're trying to wrap that up. I think I'm going to go back because another thing I was listening to was another podcast, actually, the Jumpgate podcast with Jesse Gender and Vera Wild. They were going through every episode of Babylon 5, and they finally finished the final episode of the main series. And then they're going to cover the remaining movies and the spin-off series and all that junk. But I'm inspired to go back and watch B5 through now again. So I just got to source the cheapest way I can watch it. So, and they have to suffer commercials. But it came with commercials, so it's probably not the worst thing.
Mm-hmm.
No, fair enough.
So, yeah, I don't know where I'm going to come down on a lot of things because I've got probably the weirdest opinions of all the people here.
Yeah, that's probably true, but I don't know.
That's probably true.
Yeah.
I was going to say that maybe Mike does, because he's just kind of a dark horse, but I don't know, man.
No, I will be the dark horse here. So let's throw it to Mike and let's see what he's got to say, because I'm the scary one.
Okay, so I guess as far as fandoms, I have several too. Star Trek, big fan, always have been since I was a kid. Tell you about how that worked. As a kid, my mother watched Star Trek. Right, it was on in syndication, and I knew what it was. We watched my brother and I would watch the Filmation Star Trek animated series in the morning. Get your cereal, you park in front of the TV, and we'd watch that. And we had some of the Mego toys when we were kids, like the play set with the transporter and some of the little Mego figures. But it wasn't anything I really loved. And then we went and saw the motion picture. And I was a kid. I remember thinking, this is really boring, and these characters are all fairly unlikable, and they're wearing pajamas. But I loved the look of the Enterprise. What really got me into Star Trek was when I saw Wrath of Khan in the theater. It blew all of us away. It looked so cool. You had this great music from James Horner and the cool uniforms. First new, Starfleet spaceship seen on screen with the Miranda class through Wyatt. I still love that design. And then after that, I went back and watched all the old series that I could and really got into it and just kind of stayed that way for years. I watched TNG when it first came out, and first season was it's just awful. Second season was peaks and valleys. It was really good or really bad. And then in the third season, it started to find its footing. And after that, I would watch anything, Star Trek that came out. I went and saw the movies. I even saw Star Trek 5 in the theater. I'm ashamed that I did it, but I saw it. Watched it. Loved Deep Space Nine. Absolutely loved that show. That's probably my favorite one. Loved Enterprise. I loved the Star Trek Enterprise. Very bummed when they canceled that. Voyager, not so much. It was okay, but I just couldn't quite get into it. But just still love, all things Star Trek. Always fascinated with the technology, the ship designs. I used to play Starfleet Battles, just the most complicated tabletop game ever created, with like over 1,000 pages of rules. I'm not joking. And even design ships for them. I have a few that got published. I used to sculpt miniatures. I'm an artist. I paint and sculpt, and did some of the miniatures for them back when I was still doing that. But other fandoms, I enjoy Star Wars. I'm a classic. I grew up with the old ones. Those are the good ones. Prequels, they're okay. The less said about the new stuff, the better. But I also love shows like Firefly, Farscape. I love Farscape. I've got my own set of Crikenisms that I'll throw out sometimes. So I'll watch just about anything. I mean, we were kids. We watched Battlestar Galactica when it came out. Thought it was really great. You watch it now, and it's kind of like, why did I like that again? It's because it was the only thing we had back then. But excited to, but definitely excited to talk about some of this stuff because you're absolutely right. Star Trek is, if there's any franchise that's got good, bad, and ugly in it, it has to be Star Trek, and it's every aspect of that universe. From the uniforms can be good, bad, and ugly. The ships can be good, bad, and ugly. The series, the films, the acting, all of it. It's just open season on good, bad, and ugly for Star Trek for sure.
I mean, I can absolutely agree with that. And it's nice that you brought up the your fandoms in other franchises because thanks to a friend in New Zealand, I do catch myself instead of dropping the F-bomb, I'll use the word frack from the reimagined Battlestar Galactica, or I'll use Frel,
the original
from Farscape. And so it is nice that they did have worked their way into our lexicon, into popular culture and whatnot. It's great that we that we have so many different things that we can look at and explore. So for myself, like listening to you tell your story about your watching it with your mom and everything, it's funny because I used to watch the original series in reruns with my father, and that was where I kind of got into it. And I'm not going to lie, the first Star Trek movie that I saw in the theater was Star Trek 5. And I actually, look, I'm not going to lie, when I first saw it as a teenager, I loved it. I thought, this is awesome. And it's mainly because it was the first time we had seen the, I guess, canonical / non-canonical appearance of Starfleet Marines. And I was all about, guns and ammo. It was gung-ho at the time. So it really tickled my fancy. But, I think my enjoyment of everything has kind of been rounded out. I think I'm with you guys. I'm kind of like the whole thing about I like some of the new stuff. Most of it I'm not really there with it, just because I just it has nothing to do with production values or anything like that. It was just I'm not there with it, and I'm sure we'll talk more about that as we go along. As Patrick said, I really hope that Lower Decks knocks it out of the park in their final season, which is due to start here in October. This is the end of September right now that we're recording this episode, and I'm hoping that we get a really nice send-off for a fantastic series. So, with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and wrap up this season 8 first episode, because I know that I can talk a lot and I can ramble a lot, and I'd like to keep it as nice and concise as possible as we prepare to go on this journey together. We thank you guys very much for being here with me. Patrick is going to pull his scanners on us.
Hey, I do have that on video somewhere.
Oh man, that's a blast from the past.
Yeah, it is.
All you kids out there watching this, go look up Scanners on IMDb.
Yeah, do not.
Or just go to the Red Shirt Geek episode. Or just go to the Red Shirt Geeks, find the Random Bits of Geek episode Adventures in Chroma Key.
Yeah.
You'll know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Anyways, so again, thank you again for joining us. I'm Lars DeSenza. I have Patrick Murray with me, and joining us again is Mike Raper. Very excited to take this journey, and we will see you next episode as we do the deep dive on our particular topic. As always, thank you for watching Treknicity, a Star Trek podcast. Oh man, I was hoping it was
Didn't stick the landing.
Speaking of sticking the landing.
Yeah. Wow. As always, remember to rock out with your Spock out. We'll see you next time.